For this project, I expect you to already download the project folder and extract it to this folder called Big Drive. And inside you can find the C tools, the MTS, which contains the Java test plan conversion script, and then the subjects, which are test subjects. So you can see this README file, which instructs you to export these environment variables as the first step. That is required for all test suites to all of the test scripts to run successfully. Some of the more important scripts are the makefile matrix, which creates the matrix and also generates coverage by calling the fund coverage. As you can see, it's available shown on the right side. The fund coverage will generate the structural coverage information for each test case. And after that is done, it will try to create the adequate test suites by using this create test script. And since there's also the select test utility, which makes it much faster. So the general flow is you can either run this run all script, which will run everything, or you can run it one at a time. For example, run this make file matrix to create the file matrix for this subject. And as an example, you can check the file matrix for grep. As you can see for grep, the size of the file matrix 5 is 0. That's because none of the test cases have failed for this version, even with the C default, which means the test plan is not sufficient for this version. For all the other versions, it's available. As you can see the first line, that means the test cases that can trigger the first test, the first fault, and the second line is test cases that triggers the second fault. After the file matrix is successfully generated for the grep, and after all of the branch coverage information that are successfully created, we can start running the auto graph function. This will automatically generate all the graphs for grep. And as you can see here for grep, for this is the random test case that's being generated. As you can see, there's a linear correlation between the current branch coverage count and the current statement coverage count as the test cases increase in size for a given test route. And for the all statements criteria, you can see that the relation between the statements coverage, the current statement coverage and the current branch coverage is also linear in correlation and increasing for the increasing test case count. And since there's also the relation with the faults, which is not very clear, this is the relation between the adequate test suite size for the all branch criteria for grep version 2 versus the final ratio of the faults that's detected. Since these thoughts are so spread out, the spline is just not very clear. So to make it easier to run everything, I also have this run all script, which will run every single subject and generate all the matrix, all the coverage of the data required for the graphs, and create all the graphs too.